Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at a figure I've highly anticipated, and so have most of you, I would suspect. Yeah, this is the brown suit Wolverine from CTTOYS, a copy of Mafex 138, their brown suit. So yeah, this guy has quite a story behind him for me. I actually had him pre-ordered. It's the first CTTOYS I've actually had properly pre-ordered, and it did not go well. Let's just say that. I went through 4 different sellers before I found someone who actually had him in stock. So yeah, AliExpress can be amazing, but you also have some chances on there as well. So yeah, bear that in mind. Obviously, link will be in the description below if you want to purchase this guy or pre-order the Tiger Stripe version, because CTTOYS are doing that as well. I think that's due out the end of November, so end of this month when I am recording this. But yeah, I will say off the bat, I do love this figure. It doesn't feel quite as premium as the comic version Spider-Man that I done a few weeks back, but it's still a brilliant figure. And even though CTTOYS with their Mafex bootlegs do tend to run a bit shorter, it actually works in this guy's favour, which we will go into more detail when we actually get to the figure. So yeah, I will say, for anyone who wants to buy this guy, I think he is currently sold out. CTTOYS are doing a second run, which will come out at the same time as Tiger Stripe. I'll try to find an in-stock listing for down below. But yeah, to no one's surprise, this third-party bootleg knockoff sort of figure has been very popular. So yeah, don't know why CTTOYS didn't see that coming, but they didn't, so that's just what we're stuck with. So yeah, without further ado, let's get him off the turntable and take a look at the box. So yeah, in terms of the packaging, it's pretty much what you would expect to this point from CTTOYS. It's not exactly a straight one-for-one copy of the Mafex box. It takes a lot of design cues from it and pinches like a lot of the artwork. But it's a lot slimmer than the Mafex boxes tend to run. Not that I would really know, like I haven't bought a Mafex figure in years, ever since their original Star Wars run. That put me right off them, but yeah, they're it turns out their actual comic version figures are really good, because CTTOYS figures are really good. Yeah, we have Wolverine, X-Men, a brown comic version action figure, CTTOYS logo, and nice little image of him there. You will notice his outfit on the package is quite orange. That's because the original figure was quite orange, whereas this one, CTTOYS have deliberately went out their way to make it more yellow, so the faces are interchangeable between the two. Specifically the smirking face that comes with this, and less so the yelling face, because that would fit anyway. But yeah, it's a good attention to detail that CTTOYS have done, to be completely honest. But yeah, and droning on. So we've got 138, which is obviously what the original Mafex numbering was. 6-inch, runs a little bit short, but we'll let them off. And one of the most bizarre sort of images from the comic run that I think we've ever seen. I don't know why Mafex originally chose that, but hey-oh. On the side, we have another image here with a nice logo of Logan on the side, and then picture on the back of the original in all its glory. So yeah, other side, we just have Wolverine, X-Men, and with the claws out. and then same on the top. And bottom is just a warning, don't stick it in your mouth. No sad onions, unfortunately, with this one, but we take it where we can get it. So yeah, let's take a look at his accessories. So in terms of accessories, he doesn't come with anywhere near as much as the Spider-Man figures did, but then neither did the Mafex. The Mafex Wolverine is notorious for being like one of their most expensive figures, while at the same time having the least value, if that makes any sense. Obviously Mafex I'm talking about, not CTTOYS. But yeah, the amount you get there is sufficient. It'll do. So first off, it comes with a stand. It's not the Mafex stand, it is pretty much a copy of a Tamashii Nations Act 4 stand, the figure art stand. For those of you who are not aware, I do review figure arts Dragon Ball on the channel on the regular, so if you're interested in that as well as these, make sure to subscribe. I don't say that often enough, but might as well. In terms of heads, he comes with this sort of grimace, almost smirk in the package. It's decent enough. There's a little bit of paint bleed, or should I say lack of paint where there should be, because it's more that there isn't enough black around the edges, but it's nice, it gets the point across, and the skin tone paint app is actually pretty decent. It's not sloppily done. He comes with the head that everyone loves from this figure, the sort of smirk, which is the "hey bub." That was a horrible impression, but yeah. Nice smirk. Thankfully on my copy the paint apps for the mouth and the lips are all done correctly. One of the reviewers that I watch, Fly Guy, he's a fellow YouTuber. Make sure to go and subscribe to him if you can. He tends to do a lot of Marvel stuff as well, so yeah, his had some defects on this head, which is a shame. He also comes with the unmasked head, sort of yelling, which I'll be honest, I am not a fan of these. The original Mafex one looks just as bad as this, to be completely honest. This one is probably a bit better, to be fair to it, because there's not as obvious a blue through the hair. But yeah, still not too fond of it. I'm not even fond of the standard sort of a maskless face that comes with Tiger Stripe either, but yeah, they're all CT toys are doing it, copying them, so can't fault them there. And we have the downed cowl, which fits onto his neck and it just sits on the back. I did try it earlier, but we'll quickly pop it off just to show. So you just pop that down to the bottom of the neck, and just like that, it fits perfectly fine. So yeah, really nice. I do like it. Why don't we swap the heads with the smirk while we're at it? Just to have that on, because I do much prefer that head. In terms of hands, he comes with 3 pairs. So a pair of fists, which are on him in the package. We get a pair of almost martial arts posy hands, but kind of relaxed hands as well. Quite strange, to be honest. I'm not really sure what you could do with these, but they exist. You can use them if you wish. I will say, having swapped the hands about for like the image that you see before you click on the video, the other hands that come in the package are a lot tighter on him than the fists are. Speaking of which, here is his claw hands. which are really nicely done. I do really like that. The silver sheen that they put on it is a really nice colour of paint. Yeah, I really like it. Apart from that, they are just fists. Unfortunately, like the official Mafex version of these sort of claws are not glued in, whereas on the CTTOYS version they are. I was actually planning on taking these claws off and putting them on Tiger Stripe once it got here. Obviously I would paint the little brown bits to make them look correct. But no, unfortunately these are glued in. I can only hope that CTTOYS do what everyone's begging them to do and package a pair of these in blue for Tiger Stripe. Because quite frankly, the claws that come with Tiger Stripe are horrendous. they do not look nice at all. Those sort of straight kitchen knives. Yeah, not fan. Not a fan. They're also far too long. But yeah, let's take a look at the figure now. So yeah, in terms of the figure, it's pretty damn good, I have to say. There's a bit here and there that I am not fond of. It's like, well, with CTTOYS, like, they literally announced this figure less than 2 months ago, and it's already out. So yeah, they are definitely rushing these out of the factory when they could do with a bit more time in the oven, to be completely honest with you. But I mean, I can't really fault it for the price. That's the thing. Like, this was 15 quid. This is the same price I pay for a Dragon Ball bootleg for figure arts. Like, genuinely. These are basically third-party quality with the bootleg price tag. That's the best way to describe them. And it's no wonder so many people are falling in love with the CTTOYS brand. Like, I said it in the Spider-Man review, but they're treading a fine line by using the proper names and stuff. Like, they are not protecting themselves at all from Disney and Marvel's massive law hammer that they could swing at them at any moment. And not to mention Mafex as well, but I mean, we might as well enjoy them while they last. Hopefully they last a while. But yeah, I am begging you, CTTOYS, start taking more precautions. Like Kong Studio from Dragon Ball, they had to change everything about themselves because they did not care either. So yeah, back to the figure. It is honestly, like, if I were to put a number to it, a 9 out of 10. Like, the slight issues that I've got with it are so minuscule that, I mean, if I wasn't reviewing it, I probably wouldn't even notice. Like, completely honest with you. The arms are the only thing that really stands out to me. A lot of people have said this, and I hope they fix it for Tiger Stripe, although it might already be too late on the production line for it. But to shade the sort of muscle definition on the arms, they've went with this almost sort of orangey wash. It's not quite as noticeable in person than it is on camera, don't worry. But yeah, mine isn't particularly bad, but some people's are like really noticeable on the forearm sort of section. So yeah, something to keep in mind. One other thing I will say is, just like the official Wolverine figures, the sort of arm socket that it goes into is a bit on the dodgy side. Like, CTTOYS have made sure that the peg is much longer, so it does pop in there. But yeah, you just seen there, it doesn't take a lot of force to pop it out, and as a result, the bicep swivel feels really loose on both sides for me. Even though this side's squeaking, it's still very loose feeling. And once you start swiveling it, it does like to pop out of the shoulder joint. So keep that in mind. Another problem I have specifically is, oh, it doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. Yeah, thanks for making me out to be a liar there, CTTOYS. Yeah, when I got this guy out of the package, the shoulder was popping out of this ball joint all the time, but I don't know, maybe it just needed to be popped in a bit further, and now it's staying in place nicely. So yeah, or maybe it's just performing for the camera, who knows. But yeah, final issue I have with the aesthetics is the boots. I don't know what happened. One side of my boots is completely fine. The other side is quite malformed. Like, I don't know what this bit's about. It's almost like it's excess plastic. It hasn't been cut out properly. But yeah, apart from that, only a tiny thing. I know it feels as if I'm tearing this figure apart, by the way, but I'm not. I'm just letting you know what you're in for when you buy them. The belt, the black bit on the X is kind of misaligned, but that is, again, something you really won't notice, and is just as likely to happen on the Mafex. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. But yeah, overall I do love this figure. Slight issues aside, I mean, none of them are figure breaking issues. So yeah, let's take a look at articulation. So first off, the head is on the standard Mafex sort of angled double barbell joint. So you get, between that and the neck, you get a lot of backwards motion. The neck does need moved a little bit to get out of the way, but you can also touch his pecs with his chin. You get so much tilt and pivot on this guy. It's honestly insane, between this barbell joint and how mobile the lower neck is as well. Is just insane. You can get so much expression out of this head. The two do tend to work against each other though, so yeah, you do have to work with the head to get it to go into all those poses, but I mean, it does perfectly fine to me. In terms of shoulders, that is a little bit loose feeling, like not to the point where it will flop, but yeah, keep that in mind. So arms, including using this sort of inner ball joint, butterfly joint sort of thing, you can go up really far. You can swivel all the way around. Butterfly gets some really nice movement there. That is quite insane, to be honest with you. You also get a lot of movement thanks to that ball joint. Bicep swivel. Double joint at the elbow. Gets really good range for how bulky those muscles are, I have to say. This is a bit squeaky, this joint. Hands are on the Mafex style straight peg with a ball hinge on the end. Really good. The abs, I have yet to work out what they really are. They seem to move about as if it's on a double barbell joint. But yeah, you use both of those joints at the abs and the waist, and he can crunch as well as any of the Spider-Men. That's quite insane. He can also crunch back a fair bit, but he does get a bit gappy, you can move it out the way. Yeah, really good. He has a really tight waist rotation, so keep that in mind. The hips do not look as if they get a lot of range, but they actually do. They're on a sort of figure arts, old school style drop down hip system. So while he doesn't get very far out, he does get quite far kicking up for how bulky those thigh muscles are. You also have a hidden thigh swivel in there, and this is a very soft rubber for those spandex pants, so it will move out the way really easily. Double joint at the knee. Looks a bit horrendous looking. That's actually, yeah. Be careful of that. If you don't manage to pop them out correctly, the joint sort of gets misaligned and you can't actually pop it back in properly without pushing it. Something which is not on the official is this sort of boot rotation. I would assume it does exist on the official. It's just that Mafex have more than likely glued it in place, whereas CTTOYS have just pegged it together, called it a day. Feet are on a ball hinge, so that they get back really far, forward decently, pretty much full 90 for the ankle pivot, and toe articulation, which is, yeah, really, really good. I really do like that. So yeah, for how bulky this figure is, it's quite frankly insane just how much articulation he has. Let's quickly pop off the fists so that we can show him with these hands on. Yeah, as you can see, that's quite tight, but thankfully straight peg, they do pop in nicely enough. So yeah, so before I finish up and inevitably tell you to purchase this guy because he's insanely good, I will do a quick comparison. I do not have any of the Mafex ones like the officials, unfortunately, but what I do have is the Marvel Legends Wolverine, which this is the VHS version, but it's pretty much the exact same mold as the X-Men 97 release. So older mold at this point. They have released some new Wolverines after this, but this is your closest representation. And yeah, quite frankly, there is no contest here. This guy was actually more expensive than this, which is insane to me. But yeah, as you can see, the scale is pretty much identical. Like, I can't get over just how close these two are. And yeah, this one just blows out of the water. Like, once my CTTOYS Tiger Stripe comes, I'm afraid you're getting put in the background, in the middle of nowhere, with the angry face on. But yeah, like I said before, guys, ultimately it's up to yourselves whether you want to purchase this guy, but I would highly, highly recommend you do. Quite frankly, for a 15 quid bootleg, that will probably go out of stock sooner rather than later, and you'll once again never be able to get a proper brown suit Mafex until the official one reissues, but by that point, who would want it? But yeah, definitely get this guy if you can. I will be reviewing the Tiger Stripe when it comes out, so be prepared for that. Hopefully it comes a lot quicker than this guy did. I have pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it with the official CTTOYS store apparently, so we will see how that goes. But yeah guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Will you be getting this guy as a Tiger Stripe? Quite honestly, I am hoping CTTOYS continue with their bootleg X-Men figures, and we get Storm and Cyclops and Gambit. And what ones is it they just announced? I think it was Rogue and Jubilee, maybe? But yeah, anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. But yeah guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Leave a like rating if you can. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.